This week is Microphone Awareness Week. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Is this recording?
Yes, it is. And welcome to Microphone Awareness Week on the Transmit Podcast.
No, I'm not ready.
Oh, God damn it. You're, okay, what are you not ready? Are you ready now?
All right, what are we talking about?
Talk
about those characters.
Yeah, let's talk about the characters.
Super Awesome Showdown, Unlimited.
You poured a bunch of water on, apparently.
Unlimited, the characters, and then what? I was working on another thing, too.
What were you working on?
Oh, the Halloween.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up. I got to ask for a day off for that.
Halloween show poster. And I was looking at horror movie posters. Maybe we can talk about all three of those things for the showdown talk.
All right, let's get into it right now. We've already started the podcast, technically speaking. I have already introduced us. I'm Spike.
I'm Victor.
And we're both a little inebriated. It's going to be great. Amanda's not here. Something about her being sick.
Inebriated.
That's what we are.
She might be sick.
Yeah, she told me that she's sick and would rather, let me see, I wrote it down, dry hump a badger than deal with me for today. So...
yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
That's actually most people's choice when it comes between you and dry humping a badger.
Yeah. No, I'm
They choose the badger.
They choose every time. They choose that damn badger. That's one lucky badger.
Yeah.
I'm helping a badger out is what I'm doing. Okay.
So badger is kind of like an interesting character in the world. It's not like a main character. It's like not a main animal.
It really isn't.
Like you think of a gorilla or a lion as the main animals, but
or
then
even
you've
a
got
dog.
Yeah, or cat. But then you've got like random weird things like mole, badger.
Yeah, those are all side characters. Yeah, they are like
they're like the side animals of the world.
They're like the friends of the main character.
So
that's some animal like racism right there is what that is.
I wanted to talk about characters in Super Awesome Showdown that were kind of like one-offs and stuff, but
yeah,
I still kind of remember them and think about them.
And we've had some really cool characters.
Yeah, we had some cool characters, and I'll be adding these to the website so that at some point so that everyone can like learn a little bit about them.
They'll be memorialized for
these
all
aren't
time.
these aren't the characters that get into the ring and show off their wrestling skills and stuff and fight for the universe. These are characters that are just they help progress the story. They're supporting characters, really.
Yeah.
And I guess the first ones.
Oh my!
It's gonna be a long list.
Yes, it is.
Well, some of them that we know, right? Some of them like we hear their voices, like Bill For Real.
Oh yeah.
Rudy Haynes.
Yep.
And Tom the Bomb Bundy.
New guy, yeah.
Those are the ones that we hear. But there was one announcer that his name was Red Dashing.
I have never heard this guy before. I think he was before my time.
No, Red Dashing did a show once, and it was played by Brian from Mega 64.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He came out as Red Dashing, and he had, like, red hair at the time. It was interesting. It was weird.
So, wait, what did he do? Did he have any, what was his shtick?
I don't think he had much of a shtick, really.
He just came out, red hair.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Tom the Bomb, he says the dude got wasted.
Yeah, he's more of a surfer bro.
Yeah. Then Vic Valentine had a valet named Candy.
I think I remember her. Didn't Cipriano play her?
Yeah, I think she was like her gimmick was she was like an intern for Vic Valentine type.
Bit of
thing.
a groupie, I think.
Groupie.
I think it was at one Galacticadia. Like we restarted a match because her selfie with you showed that you had your foot on the.
Yeah, she's the selfie girl.
Yes.
So there was evidence of my foot on the rope.
And we fired that show back up. That was the only good part of that show for me. That show was a massive pain. But no, I enjoyed treating her like crap because I just had no time for her. I decided.
Yeah, Candy.
Referee guy had no time for Candy.
Referee guy is another character.
Yes.
That was around and could come back.
Anytime. Listen, if you need a referee, I'm not saying no, but we have two guys already who show up. So.
And your official name is Referee Guy.
It is.
First name, referee, last. You come from a long line of guys.
Guys, yeah.
That was your family's name.
Yeah, and then they got drunk one day and said, "Hey, we should name our kid Referee."
Because we want this guy to have unlimited potential for the future to become anything he wants.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing will hold him back.
But
you know what's funny? That's kind of like your actual name.
Yes, it is. But let's not go into that. What I like is my headcanon for Referee Guy is that he was an accountant for Mega 64, but I meant Super Awesome Showdown. Sorry. Then that department dried up, and so I had to cross over to the referee side.
Yeah, because at some point the Mega 64 accounting probably became too too much for referee
for
guy.
one, for
then
one
there was
guy.
Ninja Ref.
Oh, Ninja Ref is. I still have that costume.
Ninja Ref was pretty cool. You didn't really notice him until he was counting.
Yeah, and no one really wanted him. No one was like. That's the thing is they like the idea of Ninja Ref, but when I say, hey, do you want Ninja Ref? They're like, I don't give a shit. And I'm like, well, thanks, man. I put all this time into a costume.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Tony Davis is he was usually went by Tony Davis, but he's recently upped his game a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Now he calls himself T-Boss the Omega Official.
What?
He's got his own T-shirt. So if you guys go to any Super Awesome Showdown show, I'm gonna pimp out his T-shirt right now.
You should.
It's like that tuxedo T-shirt.
Yeah.
You ever seen those?
I have. Those are great.
I guess who hasn't, right? But instead of a tuxedo T-shirt, it's like a referee shirt. It's got a little bow tie on it. So it's like a referee. That's T-Boss, everybody.
That is T-Boss.
And there's a couple of other characters that only made an appearance at Galacticadia 5 last year, and we haven't really shown them to the world yet, but there's this duck scientist that was helping the BEFC, this evil corporation,
I remember
create the evil weapon.
Yeah.
And he had a duck head.
Okay, I need a little more on this. I vaguely remember this guy.
What was happening is there was this alien pop star who had like a giant gray alien head. He was dressed like Michael Jackson.
As you do.
He hired the BEFC corporation to build the ultimate weapon that would cleanse the Earth of all its like inhabitants, so that he can have the whole planet as his like house.
Wait. Listen, I love that we like bring doom to the universe every time, but every pop star now it wants to destroy Earth through us. I'm noticing here. It's not just mega corporations and dark forces. Now it's just I have a singing career and I'd like to exterminate all life on Earth.
Yeah. So, I forget the exact name of this pop star and the duck scientists, but these are characters that actually existed on the show.
And they will be, I'm guessing?
They'll be recognized. Then you've got, your Wargus. I think Wargus, we'll leave it with Wargus. Wargus is the cousin of Gorgus. Gorgus is like the promoter.
Oh, yeah. Cipriana played her too, right?
No, Gorgus is like...
No, Wargus. Cipriana played... There's a smaller, skinnier...
No, our friend Dave played Wargus.
Oh, yeah. He was the guy during the Space Love Adventure.
Yeah.
That's the one. He
was kind of like the flamboyant, wizard-looking alien guy.
It looks like you've saved the Earth again.
So, all these are all great characters, and they might come back. And if you want to see cool side characters similar to that of that episode of Rick and Morty or Conan O'Brien in the 90s, you should check out Super Awesome Showdown.
You really should. It's worth a look-see. Oh, man, that was that was actually show talk that was appropriately short, I think.
Well, also, I wanted to bring up...
Oh, yeah?
We've got some things coming up in the pipeline.
Oh, yes, we do.
Super Awesome Showdown Unlimited from March of this year will be released soon on Patreon for early access with some extra bonus footage that we're not going to show the rest of the world, but only the patrons can see.
All right, so all 5 of you who download this podcast, just know that.
And I'll give it away.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to spoil what some of the footage is.
Spoil it.
So some of it, I won't say, but here's what you'll get. We have intermissions at our show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and we never really show them on our releases, but this time, for Super Awesome Showdown Unlimited, we're going to show the intermission and all the hijinks that go on during a Super Awesome Showdown intermission and raffle.
And that's a ton of fun, actually. That is honestly one of the more stressful times of the show.
Yeah.
You have no idea, listener, how much we're looking at the intermission and how much are we going too long? Are we going too short? Have we done the thing yet?
Yeah, the raffle. This one's really good, actually. Some cool stuff happens, and our internet audience, which I claim exists, they're missing out on a lot of the hijinks that go on in the intermission, and so that'll be one of the things you'll get to see.
No, I know what it's like to claim that an audience exists. I claim that we have a number of listeners to this podcast all the time.
Yeah. You know what? This is actually a good podcast, everyone. If you look at the top 10 podcasts, if this were more well-known, it would be in the top 20.
It really would.
Top 20 podcasts.
Hey, Victor, why are you winking at me while you say that?
That exist.
You are winking very heavily at me while you say that. I don't know what's going on with that.
And also, we got a Halloween show coming up, so be on the lookout for that. It's called Super Awesome Showdown Cosmic Horror.
Oh, our Halloween shows are great.
Yeah.
I always love those.
Yeah, there might be like fake blood or a death, probably. People will die, probably.
Oh, they always do. At a Halloween
Someone
show?
dies.
Honestly, and it's not even all that canon sometimes. Yeah. It is great. All right, so how about we go on to the lounge? And Manda's not here to call it the locker room.
Every time you say lounge, I think of that saxophone song.
Oh, yeah. It's like a lounge singing thing.
I'm never gonna dance again. These guilty feet have got no rhythm.
Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool. I should have known better than to cheat a friend and waste a chance that I've been given. Though it's easy to pretend, I'm no one. I know a bunch of it.
You know that song.
I have the regular version and a metal version. So by Seether.
Yeah, I can imagine you singing, lounge singing. Not that you have a good voice for it.
What the fuck?
Just I can imagine you in the suit and stuff.
Oh, I was thinking...
that seems like your environment. Piano at a hotel lounge, you know?
Hey, everybody. This song Sinatra taught me through a cassette tape that I bought from him.
You know, people are walking by, not even paying attention, you know.
I have
going about their day.
I have a big brandy snifter by me full of, like, I put a 1 in to start the tips.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a couple more in there. Hey, everybody. So I have a couple of things I want to talk about that came up to me over the... Hey, thank you for using my name. Normally I have to cut out when you don't use my online name. Okay, so a couple of things I want to talk about. I was thinking about stocks, and since you invest a lot, suppose I were to I was like a majority shareholder in something, and I were to just dump all my stock suddenly. Would that decrease the value of the stock, or would it raise it?
I don't know. That's a good question. Let's put some more hypotheticals in there.
Okay.
So it's your company, right?
Right. Well, I'm just a shareholder. I'm just a shareholder. Let's say I'm the majority shareholder of Apple.
Okay. How much Apple do you got?
I'll say 68%.
You got 68% of Apple.
And I just say immediately dump it all.
You're going to sell it all?
Yes.
That would affect the price.
Oh, it definitely would. But
we don't.
Well, because I was looking at this thing at Forbes, and I about like all 500 and something billionaires in America.
Yeah.
And their combined net worth is like currently $2.7 trillion.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting there thinking like, well, that's their net worth. So you have to include like their houses, their businesses, cars, and their stock options.
Yeah, not a lot of that is liquid. So people think that's like just cash on hand.
There's a Scrooge McDuck vault somewhere.
A lot of that.
And I get like you want to like, tax the rich more. Fine. But the thing is, like if you want that 2.7 trillion, you'd be lucky to get 2, I think. Honestly, because you're going to have to pay someone to go through all that stuff and then hopefully sell it at the best possible price. And that'll take years. Because not everyone's going to immediately want to buy a mansion.
Yeah, and it's all theoretical too, because it's all based on the value of your company. It's always like fluctuating.
Yeah, and if you liquidate a company, now you've also like ruined all the jobs.
Yeah.
And all that guy's other companies are going to devalue because they're all going to see, oh, that guy's businesses are probably going to get sold by the government.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, but what came to me was the stocks, because that's something there's more data on rather than everyone selling a guy's companies.
Yeah.
And I'm betting if someone seized a bunch of stock and then sold it to make money.
Yeah.
That would probably depreciate the value, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think it would. It would make the value go down. Theoretically, I think, because what makes something valuable is the scarcity, right?
Yeah, and so if you suddenly
if you put a bunch of it out there, it's less scarce, right? Because now
it's available to a whole bunch of people.
It's available, or if you sold it maybe to just one person.
Then maybe, yeah. So, but then you'd be very lucky to find someone who's willing to buy 60% of Apple.
Yeah.
Knowing that maybe next year he's going to get his 60% of Apple seized.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure if that would work even still.
Yeah, I don't know, because I know what happens with Bitcoin when a bunch of it gets sold, it does affect the price. It makes it go.
It makes it go down.
It makes it go down. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think at the very beginning, it'll go down in price, but then it'll start going up. I think as if people realize there's no more to be sold.
Yeah.
If you have a truly scarce amount.
And if someone buys a bunch of Bitcoin, if someone suddenly just buys a bunch of it, the stock goes up, or the price goes up.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering,
because now there's like less of it, and it seems more valuable, I guess, is the idea.
Yeah, I believe so.
And it's the same with stocks, then.
Right. It's the scarcity and the perception of it is incredibly important.
I don't have a scientific answer for that.
Well, I'm not looking for a scientific answer. I'm looking for
just a theoretical, free associating, shitballing idea.
Okay. Well, that ends the business portion of it.
But you should buy some Apple. You should. I
bought a bushel the other day. Granny Smith's.
You should take a look at Robinhood and get on there and.
Okay, so if you listen to this podcast, email Victor and ask him for the promo code so he can get a whole bunch of
Oh yeah, so we got Robinhood, Wealthfront, and Coinbase promo codes.
Oh yeah, so he'll hook you up. What I did with that, remember that $370 I had?
Mm-hmm.
I just put it into a 3.4% interest rate certificate at my bank.
Oh, cool.
They were running a special, so I figured I found out I'm going to be moving soon, and so every tool I want to buy is now something I have to carry to a place that may not have a garage to put it in.
You have a 3.2 interest rate certificate?
Or maybe 2.4, I forget which. I'm a little buzzed.
Wow.
But still, it's pretty good.
No, that's pretty good.
It's a special they're running at my bank. Or
what is a certificate?
That I'm not 100% sure. I just know that they've had some good yields for me. So, I think it's run through my credit union, Navy Federal.
Yeah, is that a CD?
It might be.
See, I don't know about the safe stuff. I only know about the gambly stuff.
See, there's your problem. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was the audience scores for certain things. I've been looking at Rotten Tomatoes a bunch, and there's a few more big differences between critics and audiences recently.
Yeah, you were showing me that earlier, and I don't think those differences are that big. I think people make a big deal out of this. I'm playing devil's advocate here a little bit. Advocate.
Okay, well, there's
for you, so I'm gonna be I'm confronting you right now.
Well, there's a 70% difference between sticks and stones between the audience and the critic score.
Okay, I accept that one.
That's pretty big.
Why do you think that is, Spike?
Well, personally, I think a lot of those audience scores, they're just people. They're going to watch that on Netflix and then laugh.
Well, it's the average person. I think, you know what, I also think it is. It's 99%, right?
Yeah.
I think it's people who just like Dave Chappelle and they know what they're getting into. By now, if you don't like Dave Chappelle, you're probably not going to turn him on.
Yeah.
So, if you're seeing that, you're probably going to like it.
Well, that's kind of the thing I can always tell about a movie. The critics have a very specific outlook on things. So if it's about Hollywood or if it's about I don't know, a minority who's poor, who can't read in another country, it'll get a 90 as well.
Yeah.
Because they have this kind of woke outlook on movies.
And I don't actually watch those movies.
Yeah, me
I should. I feel like I should. Maybe they're actually good.
They might be good.
Maybe we're just,
Well, did you see The Shape of Water?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, well, that's
I've heard of it. It's got the Abe Sapien in it from Hellboy, right?
Yeah, basically. Basically, at the end, Hellboy shows up and breaks him out. And
it's part of the Hellboy extended universe.
So. That would be way better than just some chick bangs a fish dude.
But it is the same actor.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is the same guy. He's like a tall, lanky, fish-looking man.
Well, yeah, so I think, the thing about the critics, the top critics on Rotten Tomatoes, they look at what it's about. Does it have a message that I agree with?
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that. Maybe it's a little bit of a conspiracy, but
I wouldn't say conspiracy. I think it's just a lot of critics are very Hollywood.
Well, and I think also critics they want to create meaning in their jobs.
That might help too.
So what they're doing is they're not only saying this is a good film, but this is good for humanity.
Oh yeah.
So they're trying to instead of being yeah, I spend my life watching television and stuff like that and seeing if it's good or not. They have to be there has to be a higher function to what they do.
True.
They have to be all right, not only is this entertaining, but is it doing good for the community, for the world's community?
Does it draw a light to issues of our time?
Yeah. So apparently they don't think Chappelle does that enough, which he does.
Well, and this thing.
So maybe there's a little bit of hypocrisy there.
Maybe, yeah, because
right?
he pokes fun at everyone. It's like, that's pretty much a comedian's job, is to shine light on societal taboos, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I thought it was just to be funny. So.
Well, I mean, if you.
But a lot of comedians feel like they need to be offensive, though.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? It's their job to be funny, but a lot of times they do that by broaching. Well, because really, what's really
the higher function?
Yeah, that's the
higher to reflect an image back on society.
And really, is it really funny to say like, well, my grout's kind of dirty. I have to get my floors cleaned.
Yeah.
Or is it funnier to say like how your girlfriend's a jerk?
I don't know. It depends.
I mean, yes, you could tell a good joke about anything, but it's probably easier to go with relationships.
See, my favorite humor has actually been Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, I love Jim Gaffigan. He's great.
The Hot Pockets guy.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Whenever I see him on Netflix, I'm like, I don't want to watch this guy. He's lame. But then every time I turn it on, I was like, oh yeah, he's funny. And I find a guy who makes fun of himself hilarious. That's why I like him and Louis C.K. and stuff. People who just are just pathetic people, pathetic human beings.
Or they capitalize on their perceived patheticness.
Yeah.
Because realistically, comedically, they are very talented.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is like, yes, a very talented comedian can tell jokes about anything and really could not even have a punchline but still be funny.
Yeah.
Can go up there with no material and then just riff.
Yeah. That's just like how we are on this show.
Yes, but we're not really talented yet.
We riff and we're talented, and first we got to get people to think that.
Yes.
And then we got to start drinking our own Kool-Aid is what we have to do.
I am the most talented motherfucker on the planet. You have no idea.
Yep. There we go.
I'm a comedic genius, America.
Yeah, you did have this phase where you're writing down jokes. Do you remember that?
I do, back in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was a long time ago.
Was that funnier? Was I funnier then?
Slightly.
Ouch. That hurt my feelings.
I've
lost a step.
0.1 of a humor point.
It could be worse, I guess.
But you know what? Maybe you're funnier now, but I feel like you were more directed at that time. You're kind of at least into the comedy part. You've seemed to shift your interest to other things.
Well,
but you try to maintain the humor as your persona, as your character, as your personality.
I like to be funny.
Yeah.
I try to be, at least.
I remember the one joke that you wrote down that I remember.
Oh, yeah?
Was, why does, it went like this. Do you ever notice that alone rhymes with cologne? Or no? Was it cologne rhymes with alone?
One of the two.
Yeah. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
You know what? Okay, now I'm going to start writing stuff down again.
So you just need to build up something to that being the punchline.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I need you to be my comedy coach, maybe. And
then I even thought about I'd be a comedian.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think I'd have. It's hard to write a joke. Write something that someone hasn't done.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of figuring it out, the more stand-up that I listen to.
Well, yeah, there is a formula to it.
There's a formula where it's it seems like each one of them only tells 3 or 4 jokes for the whole hour, but they tell little jokes in the setup to their punchline. Yeah. So they're setting up their joke, and then they're setting up, and then there's these little jokes within it, and then they finally get to the end, and then it's that's the payoff for listening to the whole story.
Yeah, and I think there are several that's a very popular version of it right now because it's more of a story they're telling.
Yeah.
But then you also saw that the Bill Burr thing. He moved around a lot. You saw some of Bill Burr's new comedy special.
Yeah.
And he was moving around a lot with that one.
Yeah.
So I think it's more built.
I guess it was like Dave Chappelle. He takes his time setting up.
Yes.
His stuff.
And yeah, I think that's currently no one's saying what's the difference between a blah and a blah. Blah. Yeah. That's kind of an older style. And there's all different styles of comedy out there.
Yeah, that's true. But you just gotta find those topics that no one else is really thinking about.
Or even ones that people are thinking about and just tell it in a unique way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. No, what I want to talk about actually, speaking of Bill Burr, is that his comedy was way more offensive than Dave Chappelle's, and he's like got like an 86 with the audience or with the critics, and a 98 with the audience.
Yeah, that's.
I have no idea what the difference is between the two. Like,
so the critics like him a little bit better.
I guess they like Bill Burr better. He had a thing like was it Michelle Obama like finding presidential tasting dick, and I have no idea how that's not way more offensive.
Well, I felt like Dave Chappelle kind of slightly agitated minority groups in his thing that maybe Bill Burr didn't.
That's true.
So, like, you know, I'm not saying Dave Chappelle went after these groups, but he did kind of
tell jokes about them.
Tell jokes about, you know, trans and gay community and LGBTQ community.
I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I guess they're willing to let the presidential dick thing ride. But what did he get? 86%?
Yeah.
So that means like 25%, less than 25% didn't like it then, right?
Yeah. Well, no, like way less. It was like 14% didn't like it.
Math is not something I'm great at.
When you're buzzed?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. All right, listen. We have gone a little long today, so you know what we're going to do?
What are we going to do?
We're going to skip the news. We had some deep and insightful talk about comedy, and I really thought we did a good job today.
Yeah, we did, because we're great.
We are phenomenal.
If we had Kool-Aid, the Kool-Aid color would be like cyan.
Ooh, cyan's good color.
We're drinking our own cyan-colored Kool-Aid.
All right, so listen, I'm going to thank you for tuning into the Transmit Podcast. I'm Spike.
I'm Victor.
We'll see you next time.